you guys both have talked about these amazing capabilities that all users can get across the board, helping get more efficient, having users adopt it quickly, scaling for the business. But two of the key roles that we have to totally wow with this is the CIO and the CFO. And you know they're always worried about cost. So maybe you guys can tell us a little bit about how you think about that.
Well, we just talked about total cost of ownership. You know, the system has to be flexible and adaptable. It has to be able to be implemented and nimble. You know, if you think of a CIO role, again, just like we talked about, he wants the product to be able to scale with his company as he grows, to handle all the different requirements. One of the things about AX is if I start small, a smaller company, I may not need all the modules. I may not implement them all out of the gate. But as a CIO, I know that the power of the package is there so that as I grow tomorrow, I can implement that added functionality that I need. You know, another thing that we see with CIOs, especially in the CPG space, we all recognize that there's consolidation taking place. There's a lot of acquisition for growth. Two-tier architecture or hub and spoke technology is something you'll hear about. When a CIO is looking, and from a technical due diligence perspective, he's got to know that he can land a system with a business unit that's been acquired that can integrate back to the financial system of record for that corporation. So when he looks at buying a new business unit, or when their company looks at buying a new business unit, they have to make sure that they can rapidly deploy an enterprise solution. They have to have that one source of data, but on the back end, it's got to have that technology platform that allows it to easily integrate back to the financial system of record. The third thing that I'd like to mention, Fred, is you heard John talk about torrents of technology. Gartner will talk about nexus of forces. You know, as a CIO, I want a product that's going to be there for me and my company in the future. You talk about social, you talk about cloud, you talk about mobile technologies and information. Who better to bet on in terms of bringing all this product to bear than Microsoft? We believe that's a real differentiator. We know Microsoft is going to make strategic investments across each of these product technologies. Better yet, we know that they're going to incorporate that back into the portfolio. And so when Microsoft is investing in cloud, Dynamics AX is going to end up with cloud. When it's investing in social and mobile technologies, Dynamics AX is going to benefit from that as well. So the ability to take that technology and that convergence of technology that we see going forward and to wrap that into the Dynamics AX platform is powerful.
Yeah, and you articulated it really well, because what we're trying to do is not only provide the quickest time to value, but also the lowest TCO, and really, as you ended with, future-proof for all of these great technologies that none of us can predict are coming down the path. So, John, when you think about that, I saw your head nodding a lot with these.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you have some comments about, you know, how the audience will really get a lot of those things between TCO and future-proofing their business with these technologies.
Yeah, I mean, in addition to the things that Russell talked about, which are absolutely essential, I think you're always going to make a CFO smile by saving money, and I think that Dynamics AX will make that CFO smile. For one reason, it reuses the technology that's already in place in virtually every business. It leverages off of Office. It leverages off of Exchange. It used the same plumbing that most likely a business is already using to operate today. So that's going to do nothing but save a company time and money. But I'll tell you why the CIO loves AX. Because it's an implementable product. How many CIOs get fired because an ERP implementation goes sideways? It's probably the greatest fear most CIOs have about tackling a major ERP implementation, is because they so often end in disappointment. And I think we have a phrase inside of Sunrise that AX is the most implementable ERP system on the market, and I genuinely believe that. Its ability to adapt to a business means that this implementation is going to succeed. That at the end of the day, all ERP implementations are painful. I mean, let's get that out right now. But most of them also end up flat out not necessarily being a success. AX implementations, they do succeed. The businesses come out the other end of that painful process with a better business, with more effective information, more effective technology to operate the business, and that makes a CIO smile and hopefully have a job for a long time to come.
So, John, I love it. I think, how you are thinking about that with regards to implementable and the notion that I love that you guys at Sunrise Technology say that this is one of the best implementable solutions, because we had to do a lot in the technology to make this easier. And we thought a lot about it because the customer is just intolerant of long implementations, and they're definitely not tolerant of losing their jobs. I mean, if they're not smiling as a CFO or a CIO, that's one thing. If they lose their jobs, that is not good for me. That means that my job is not that secure. So I appreciate that you guys are helping us do that.